So last video we were going through some of the classification tools. We haven't bothered tidying up the classifications really any better. We're just going to use it as it is. So what we'll do now is to start actually extracting some of the data. So let's start with some of the point extraction tools. Now we can see here that this pole extraction includes this sort of bollard, which is actually part of our rail testing system that we have here. I could reclassify that if I wanted to. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And I'm just going to basically turn everything on apart from the ground, and then I'm going to turn on the poles. And then I'm just going to go into the extract point feature. And we're going to go for the posts. We'll go for automatic. We're going to give them feature codes. So they're all lampposts apart from one. And we can just hit extract posts, and the TBC will basically go through the entire post region and look to extract the posts from that position, from that data. So whether it be 3 posts or whether it be 443, it's going to just tune it and basically come up with the various different posts that there are and allow you to verify them. So we can see here that we've got to this one first of all. So this is the temporary object here. It's automatically extracting some attribute information. So we can see here the pole diameter is 160, the height is 4.8. It's actually extracting the pole inclination and the direction of that pole inclination. We're actually not mapping any of that to our feature code. We're basically just looking for the position. So we can just basically put a little mark in that one to say that's the first one that we've done. And then we can step through, and then you can see that it's extracting the ground position as well. So this is the height that's going to be associated with that post. And we can just quickly step through. You can see here, for instance, you're actually only seeing the top of the pole, but because it's got the ground extraction, then it's doing the height extraction correctly. So we don't really need to worry about the fact that the bottom bit of the pole is missing. Stepping through, all looks absolutely fine. Yeah, looks good, looks good, looks good. That looks good. That looks good. And then we come to the last one, and this is not a lamppost at all. So I can just change this to being a bollard. And this time we do need, for our bollard code, then we're going to map the diameter, and it's going to be mapped through to our feature code and scale the symbol accordingly. And then we can just choose, yep, that's fine, add, and we're just going to extract all of these features automatically. So if I just turn off we can see that we've got the lampposts and the bollards. If we're going to do the same with the signs, then we can just go into here and we can just go back and we can say, okay, let's just turn on the signs. And once again, we can just choose automatic extract post, let it tune that for a wee second. I should have changed the feature code because it's going to try and extract the feature code to LP for lamppost, but we can change that very quickly. So we can just change it to something else. So we can just say, okay, this is actually road signs we're extracting. We're not going to bother mapping any of the attributes. So we can just skip to where the first one is, which is this one here. Temporary object, that looks fine. And we can say, yep, we'll just mark it. So that basically just means which one we've started with. Step our way through, yep, that one looks good, that one looks good, that one looks good. It's actually only extracted 3 here. So let's just add these. We're not going to map any, so it's only created 3. There was a 4th. For some reason, it's not mapped this one, and I can just go jump across the manual, and I can just say, okay, we want to extract that. Extract the post. There's a post, and we can say, yep, perfect, add that, and we're not going to basically map any of the attributes. So we've done the signs, we've done the posts. Now, if I just leave the ground on here, I'll show you another option, which is manholes, and we can just say automatically search for manholes, and we're going to use the option, the feature code, manhole cover level, extract manholes. Now, this The posts and the signs tool works extremely well with a huge degree of reliability. What I've found myself with the manhole cover level extraction is that it needs certainly some QC to just verify that it's actually picking up the manhole thing. So we'll just let it run, and then we can have a look at how good it's done when we're going through the QC process. But it's still a very valuable tool. So with manholes, we've now, again, we get this path that jumps between feature to feature, and we're going to mark it once again just to show that that's where we start. And then we just need to go through and QC them. So that is actually a gully, but we could actually change, that's fine, happy with that. So we can just say, that's fine, we're going to map it to a gully. And next one, let's just verify this one. Yeah, that's manhole cover level. That's a manhole cover level. These example, it's very difficult to actually see them, but you can see they're both manhole cover levels. And then this one here is definitely not. It's a traffic cone, so we just say ignore to that. And then we got this one here on the top of the hill in the back of our car park, so that's definitely a manhole cover level. And then we've got another one here, which is actually a gully again, so we can just change the feature code to gully, and we can just verify, and that's fine. And we just say add. We're not going to bother mapping any of the features. And that's because manholes are currently, the extraction of the attributes is only for round manholes at the moment, but at least we've got a cover level on them, and we can extract the covers later on. Lastly, we'll just look at trees. So we'll just turn on the high vegetation. The accuracy of the tree extraction will be best when you have scattered trees rather than packed in a tight forest. And of course, most of the time, what you'd be doing there is mapping them as a single canopy, but you'd still be able to extract the actual trunks. So here we're just going to choose to put in our feature code, which is TE. We're going to map the spread in the trunk, so that's fine. And we're just going to go automatic extract trees, and it's going to chunter through. And I'll just pause the video for a second. Okay, so now we've done our trees. We're just going to jump in, choose our starting point, and we can just review them, QC them quickly to make sure that they actually look okay. And we can just see this one, yeah, extracted the spread of the tree, the trunk of the tree, all looks fine. Again, we put a mark in it so we know which one we start and finish with, and we can step our way through to the next tree. Here you can see, because there's 3 trunks, then it's being getting a little bit confused, and of course there's a decision to be made what trunk size we actually map here. So we can decide to just put a wee manual adjustment in it and just do that, and probably that's the sort of thing that I would do. There is this option when we're extracting trees to put a crop box on, so you can see I'm just toggling it on and toggling it off, and it just allows us to focus in the individual area that we're looking at the moment. So that's that tree, and we can proceed through and carry on extracting and QCing all our trees. The accuracy generally will be very good where the trees are sort of separate, and then you'll see here, if we look in the trees behind us, then the accuracy is not quite so good when they're joined in. And there's a tree missing here. So what I'll do is I'll just say, yeah, let's just accept these trees. And then this is quite a tricky tree because of the way it's sloping, but I can just go into manual extraction, and I can pick a point in this tree, and I can say, okay, extract the tree position. It's been a little bit confused by the degree of slope, so I'll maybe just move it slightly. And then for the trunk diameter, what I can do is I can just tape it manually. So I can just tap one side of the tree, the other side of the tree, 142, and then I can just choose add, and that's extracted that tree manually. And I can carry on with the others. So I could do this one, extract the tree. This one should be more straightforward because it is straighter. And again, that looks pretty good. So we just add, and we can carry on extracting all the other trees, and You can see how many trees there it's extracted. Okay, we haven't QC'd them all thoroughly, but we've just shown you how the tool actually works.